Hi, Bill, back with another report. Lots happened since the last time we've talked. The company is moving for a ministry-sponsored vote. What they want to do is put the last position forward on the table that was in bargaining. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about what that is. What happened in bargaining was the company came to us with a final offer again, another final offer. What the company offer says is the offer that I hold here. This is the offer to the union on Friday. In this offer, the company said to us, and actually put it in writing, ratification bonus reduced to $2,000 due to the cost of the work stoppage, and employees must return active for 60 days to be eligible. The other piece that they put in here was the senior level hours gone. Now, the senior level hours are the hours that the union uses to deal with issues like contracting out, other associated issues. We do go by union dues, however, the collective agreement is specific in that when it comes to contracting out, the parties must have the discussion. What the company said to us during the course of the collective bargaining was that they would take that off the table. They put the $500 back on the signing bonus. However, it had to be with the agreement of the union that they would remain silent when we brought back the collective agreement. Now, the company's been making allegations that the union refused to take back the collective agreement. That's not true. Through a ministry representative and through the key staff in Hamilton, we made the agreement that we were bringing back that contract because you know what we always do. We've always brought back all the information to you. And we had no problem with putting that to a vote. However, what the company said was that they wanted our silence. They wanted the union to remain neutral. And that is, we could not go into condemning this collective agreement. They wanted us to merely hand you the agreement and let you go decide. The union is never going to be muzzled when it comes to talking with their members. We're all in it together and we all have to have that communication, and we'll never agree to a position that says we can't talk to our own members. When the company found out that said we're not going to do that, they walked out of bargaining. That was Friday afternoon. Monday morning we have a ministry vote. Now, interesting, in the ministry vote, this is the package that's been sent to the Ministry of Labor that you're going to be voting on. This is the offer that's on the website. This is the offer that was presented to the union. This is the offer that's been sent to your homes. Interesting thing about it is, in these offers, they don't tell you that they had already agreed to pay the senior level hours and to put the signing bonus back up to $2,500. They've decided that they're going to come back to you with the first offer that was on the table because they want to punish you for being locked out. They want you to pay for being locked out. That's why the money's on the table. But all that being said, what the company is saying to you is trust us. We have your best interest at heart. They're saying that they are the only ones who are going to communicate with you honestly and effectively. That they would like you to go to meetings that are going to be scheduled for the 23rd and the 24th so they can tell you their story. However, one of the things actually, and part of all of these that they haven't told you yet, and appears in none of the documents, is the letter of understanding number 12. See, we've been asking about this. We've been asking about this ever since it started. What the company said to us was they didn't understand it. They signed off on it in the last set of bargaining, but they didn't understand it. When we asked them why they didn't understand it, because the corporate lawyer was the one who wrote that, they said that he didn't know because he had to find it and there were so many boxes, he just couldn't find it. We specifically asked the question of where is letter of understanding number 12? Now you may say, what does that have to do with anything? It has to do with everything. Letter of understanding number 12 is what gives the guts to contracting out. This is the letter that, when renewed, prohibits the company from contracting out your job while you're on layoff, when you have recall rights, when there's attrition, and when there's in-house work to be done. That is what they're omitting. We asked a question about it. So it's more than just what they're presenting to you on the table. Now, I bring back what they said to us on the issue of the hours for contracting out. And he said to us, you know, if you just sort of forget all that, we'll let you have those hours, trying to play to self-interest. Nothing is ever going to stop us from communicating with our members and telling them exactly what's on the table. The 510, that's gone. It's contracting out. What else is gone? Item number 12, contracting out. Contracting out is a huge part of the deal that they're putting on the table. Not to mention all the same concessions. You got to ask yourself the question, what is it that they're really trying to tell us? What is it that they really want to do? Who's offering this? Since when do you trust them? Back when Stelco owned us, we were the jewel in the crown. We were the biggest money-making operation pretty well anywhere. Since US Steel has taken over, we've been nothing but having losses, nothing but problems, and they'd like to tell the press that because of all the money-losing operations out here, they're doing us a favor by giving this concessions to us. Since when did they care about your family? Since when did they care about you personally? You work in that mill. There's a reason why this is happening. Canadian dollar's down, auto contracts coming up, a lot of reasons. If they're really going to close this plant, why are they doing this? Now, you have to remember in business that lying is just aggressive business tactics. We know we're not a money-losing operation. We know we're not a charity. Now, they want to have a sit down and they want to talk with you on the 23rd and your 24th. This is not mandatory. You don't have to go. They're going to want to sit down and explain their offer to you, and they're going to want to explain what's on the paper. And they can also explain to you why it's a lesser offer than what they offered the union on Friday. They're also going to tell you about how this is a sensible proposal, how this is a money-saving proposal. If anybody's looked at recent settlements, reasonable proposals have been no concessions plus 3% in the last year. That was what Algoma settled on, and they basically have the same type of collective agreement we do. Now, I'm thinking that with the letter of a binding contract missing from our collective agreement, this is what you're going to face. You're going to get the 2,000 minus the 500 for punishment. Any contracting out ability that the union has is going to be taken away from them. I know that people right now are sweating it. You're saying, hey, I'm in a lot of financial difficulties, I've got family. None of us are getting paid, not even the president of the local union. We all get strike pay, we all have to work towards this goal. There are those out there who, for whatever reason, decide to jump ship, and they say, well, I have to jump ship for a lot of good reasons. I understand. I understand that you have families that need to be fed. I understand you have bills that need to be paid. But you have to come to a balance on it. Do you really trust US Steel with this package? Are you really prepared to put your future in their hands? Are you really prepared to sign what they put in front of you in order to satisfy the short term? Because the long term is what you're in for. The long haul is what we're all in for. Are we really prepared to put our faith in these people? They want a deal. This is business. They want a deal from you, and they want the deal on their terms. They want you to come to their terms, and they're going to appeal to you. They're going to tell you how bad the union is, how the bad union is not affording you the right to vote. They're going to rely on public opinion. They're going to float things in the public about why isn't the union allowing you to vote. Untrue to begin with. But remember, it's real easy for people who don't work here to make judgment on what you're going to do with your life. It's real easy for the guy who works somewhere in Simcoe and doesn't make a whole lot of money to turn around and say, gee whiz, I'd take that contract in a second. Easy for him to make the decision for your future and your welfare. We have to make the decision collectively. Now we have this contract in front of us. You know that we're missing the contracting out. That's not happening. You know that the union's ability to deal with contracting out is being limited by this. You know you're getting your COLA reduced, your holidays reduced. You know that you're going to enter into copay. You know all these things are on the table, so you have to ask yourself, is this really what I want? Is this really the future that I want? Is this what I'm prepared to settle for? I'll repeat what I said the first meeting when we took the first vote. Everybody has to cast their vote in accordance with how they feel and what their situation is. There's never any coercion, never any threats. The only threats that we're seeing are the ones that are accompanying the company's position. That's classic US Steel. They're going to threaten you. They're going to tell you that they're going to shut your plant down and all these horrible things are going to happen. On one hand, they're your best friend. On the other, they're classic US Steel. But that's really what they're offering you. So you have to take that. You got to think long and hard. Are you prepared to live with that? As always, the union lives by whatever decision you make. You have the right of democracy within the union. You do not have the right of democracy within US Steel. They will tell you how it is, and if you don't do it, there will be problems. That is their reality, and we all know that. Think long and hard. Get all the facts you like. Have a look at it. Be careful of what they're not telling you. Be careful of what the real setup is. They want this deal. They want it bad enough to take this particular tack to try and get it from you. They want it that bad. You have to make a decision. Thanks.